Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second channel, the More JDT channel. Don't mind me and my Never Give Up t-shirt. You can't see me. I just got finished watching WrestleMania Night number 2. It was actually pretty fun, pretty cool. Yes, I still watch WWE because it's entertaining. I don't care. And it's the best it's ever been. So, well, okay. I won't say it's the best it's ever been, but popularity-wise, it is. So it's been good. It's been fun. But that's not what we're here for this video. We're here on the second channel once again to do something we've done for a very long time, and that is another NFL mock draft. This year, the 2026 NFL draft is coming up on Thursday, April 23rd, I believe. And this time, something I've never done doing mock drafts before in the past is trades. Well, it changed this year, as this year we are mock drafting with trades. These are teams I think are going to be trading up or down in the draft, and I'm going to give every team the player that I believe is going to be drafted from 1 to number 32 in the first round of the NFL draft. So with that being said, sit back, relax, enjoy, and let's get right into the mock draft. But before that, again, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know who your favorite team is and what you think they're going to draft and what you want them to draft, or who you want them to draft, and what you guys need to draft. Obviously, my Dallas Cowboys have pick 12 and pick 20 at the moment. That could change in my mock draft. That could change on the actual draft day, but we'll get right into it, guys. With that being said, for real now, let's get into the mock draft. All right, so the draft I'm using is Pro Football Network. I'm going to only do the first round, normal draft speed, and we're actually going to be doing on consensus. That's the thing I think is the best for drafts. I'm going to select every team. And yeah, teams that don't have first round picks, I believe, are certain teams like, I think Indianapolis doesn't have one. Jacksonville does not have one either. Denver also doesn't have a first round pick. Cincinnati no longer has a first round pick. I was actually going to do this mock draft a couple days ago, and I'm glad I didn't, because the Bengals traded their first overall pick number 10 to the New York Giants for Dexter Lawrence. So very interesting trade, and I think it helps both sides for sure. I definitely think so. Dexter Lawrence. Sorry, I think I said DeMarcus Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence wanted out of New York anyway, so I think it helps both teams. Who else doesn't have a Falcons don't have a first round pick. Green Bay doesn't, as they gave it to us. Every other team has a first round pick. So yeah, with that being said, let's enter the solo draft. With round 1, pick 1 of the 2026 NFL draft, I have the Las Vegas Raiders staying at number 1, shocker, and drafting Heisman winning quarterback from Indiana, Fernando Mendoza. I think Mendoza, just out of every prospect, is probably the best to take, especially for the Raiders. They need a quarterback to get rid of Geno Smith. They got nobody that really come in and do that role. Fernando Mendoza, I think, is probably the best developmental quarterback. Also, he's just a good guy. I mean, like, listen to the kid talk. I mean, he's just fun to listen to, fun to follow in leadership. So Fernando Mendoza, I think for sure, is going to fit Las Vegas very, very well. And I think Raiders are going to get a good pick in that. My dad and I actually made a bet kind of on this, on his career, because that sounded really like dark. But like, but I think he's going to have a decent career. I don't know if he's going to win a lot of Super Bowl championships or that, but I do think he'll make playoffs a few times, win a couple playoff games, maybe win Offensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year at one point, maybe something like that. My dad says he's going to be an absolute bust after watching him play in the National Championship game and a couple other games too. So we've kind of set the ceiling for Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be better than Trevor Lawrence, and my dad doesn't think he'll be better than Trevor Lawrence. And that's kind of the ceiling we've set for quarterback standards. And this is coming from my dad, who said Trevor Lawrence was going to be a bust, and he was, I would say at the moment, he's right, even though Trevor Lawrence just had his best year. So yeah, a little backstory on that one. Next up, round 1, pick 2 of the 2026 NFL draft. I had the New York Football Jets keeping their pick here, and I got them taking Avril Reese, edge out of Ohio State. Guy can play linebacker, guy can play edge. I think he's an all-around versatile player. I know they need a receiver and some other stuff, but I do really think that Avril Reese is probably the perfect fit here at number 2. They could go Reese. I could see them going Jeremiah Love just because of the whole Breece Hall situation, but I still think because they franchise tag him, they're going to keep Hall. And then I can also see David Bailey going here, but I think Reese is probably the best overall pick and best player available at pick 2. With round 1, pick number 3 of the draft, the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock, but I do have a trade being proposed here by the Kansas City Chiefs, who are actually in talks with the Arizona Cardinals for this pick. I think the Chiefs are going to give up their 9th and their 29th pick in round 1 for the Cardinals' 3rd round pick, and I think they're going to get something a little bit else. I think that maybe they'll get something else from the Cardinals, like a 65 overall pick or something, maybe something like that. I could also just see the Chiefs going straight up swap. So for this current situation, since we're only doing round 1 anyways, we'll just go with this. So I think that's what's going to happen here. So there you go. The trade has been accepted. The Kansas City Chiefs now jump to number 3, and with the 3rd pick in the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs selecting out of Texas Tech edge David Bailey. Now, I know there's a lot of good players. Jeremiah Love, again, they don't really have a great running back, but they did just sign Kenneth Walker, so obviously he's going to be the guy there. They could go with somebody else here. I could definitely see that, but David Bailey, if he's not available, they need an edge rusher. They need a guy to get to the quarterback again. Guy is out of Texas Tech. I mean, there's another guy that was out of Texas Tech. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think KC is a great fit for David Bailey. And, yeah, I got him to go to Kansas City. With the 4th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft in the first round, I got Tennessee actually staying at 4. I had to actually have them trading back with even Dallas in my early mock draft trades before I did this video, but I'm going to leave Tennessee here, and I'm actually going to think the Tennessee Titans select running back out of Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love. Okay, hear me out on this one. Hear me out on Jeremiah Love. Is it a high pick for running back? Yes. Has it been done before? Yes. Has it worked out before? Yes, it has. Who was a running back in Tennessee that did very, very well, and then eventually they got rid of him or let him walk because they just couldn't win with him anymore, and that was Derrick Henry. And look what he's doing still with the Ravens. They have Tony Pollard, they have Tyjae Spears. I get that. But Jeremiah Love is a versatile running back and so good. A definite game changer and will take a lot of pressure off of Cam Ward. They just signed Wan'Dale Robinson to a big deal on Tennessee. They have a decent receiving core. Now, do they need an edge rusher? Yeah. Do they need a linebacker? 100%. Is there really good edge rushers right now? Ruben Bain Jr. on the list. Is there a good linebacker? Sonny Styles right there. Is there a good receiver to even, if you even want to make that argument? Yes, Cornell Tate's right there too. However, you can get a decent receiver later on in the draft. You can get a good edge rusher later on in the draft. You can get a decent linebacker at the back half of the draft, second, third round draft of the draft. You cannot get another talent at the running back stage like Jeremiah Love later on in the draft. He is by far the best player on offense in this draft, 100%. Like, it's not even close. I mean, he's better than Fernando Mendoza. We're talking talent-wise, Jeremiah Love is better than Fernando Mendoza. All right, so in previous mock drafts, I thought the Giants would be trading down from the 5th overall spot, but now they have the 10th overall pick and the 5th overall pick. However, I do think the Giants are still looking to trade back anyways. I don't think they're going to stay at 5. Maybe get more picks, a couple more here and there. Who knows? I'm getting a visitor. Hey, buddy. Hello? You're interrupting my New York Giants pick that I don't really care about. Maybe I would if they take the guy I wanted. You done? No, he's still going. He is still going. Just drinking away. Don't mind him. He just likes to drink. Anyways, back to what I was talking about with the New York Giants. I think the New York Giants still trade back because I think there's going to be a team that proposes a trade that the Giants are going to like and they're going to actually move with this trade. I have the New Orleans Saints offering up a trade with the Giants. I got the Saints given their 8th overall pick and their 73 overall pick in the draft for the 5th overall pick for the New York Giants. More draft capital for the Giants. They don't move back too far and they still get great players from picks 8 and picks 10. And the trade goes through with this, and I think it gets accepted. I think the Saints jump in front of Washington and Cleveland because they want to pick Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. I mean, look who we'd be teaming up with, Mr. Chris Olave. You need that. You need to get that man help. Okay, Chris Olave has been through everything for this team, mainly concussions. Okay, and you got to give it and throw it to somebody else. And Tyler Shout has actually been an amazing quarterback for you, and I think you actually found a hidden gem in him last year picking him in the draft. I think if you get him another weapon, Jawan Johnson was doing really good. Alvin Kamara will come back healthy. You will still have Chris Olave, and then you get Carnell Tate to pair up with the Saints after they lost Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks. Carnell Tate going to the Saints makes the most amount of sense for me. I think the Saints would really want him, and in order to do that, they have to jump the Browns and they have to jump the Commanders because the Commanders might not go with him, but if he's there, they might just pick him because he's there. And Cleveland, I know if it gets to Cleveland at 6, 100%. Saints lose out on Carnell Tate. There's other great receivers in this draft, but Carnell Tate by far is the best from Ohio State. With that being said, the Saints jumped the Browns, and now the Browns are sitting at pick number 6 here. And what do? Well, their guy is no longer on the board. So what's happened? they are also going to be trading back with the Dallas Cowboys. I have my Dallas Cowboys proposing a trade with the Cleveland Browns here. I got the Dallas Cowboys giving up the 12th and the 20th overall pick for the 6th, the 24th, and we also give up next year's second round pick. And therefore, we do a double swap with the Browns. They go back to 12th, we jump up to 6th, but we go back to 24th and they jump up to 20th. Plus they get our second round pick from next year, and maybe we give them a pick again later on this year, but this will be accepted, likely accept. So I think something like this will happen. Maybe we won't give them a second, maybe we'll give them a couple more picks in the draft or some of that, but I think we'll do a double for double trade. I think that trade goes through. So with that being said, the Cowboys jump up to the 6th overall spot from 12th to take linebacker out of Ohio State, Sonny Styles. Now, realistically speaking, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, this is actually who I wanted to the draft. I really want Sonny Styles. I actually wanted him prior to the Combine, but then he decided to go to the Combine and absolutely kick ass, and now every team wants him, and he went from like a top 15 draft prospect to a top 5, top 10. He could still fall to us at 12, and I believe we could still get him, but at the same time, I'm going to have him going at 6 to the Dallas Cowboys as we traded up to go get him. That being said, we got the Washington. I know a lot of trades, right? I got how many trades? I got 1, 2, 3 trades in the first 6 picks. It could happen, you know. It could happen. I feel like this year is gonna be a decent amount of trades. But moving on, we have pick number 7 from the Washington Commanders. I just think they're gonna stay here and get their player that they want to get. They could go with receiver, Makai Lemon, right here. They could definitely get that. But they got Debo, they got Terry McLaurin. You know, you can get a good receiver later on in the draft. I do think you go best player available. There is Caleb Downs here from Ohio State, and I could see Washington going with him here. That would make 3 Ohio State players in a row get drafted. You got Carnell Tate, Sonny Styles, and then you would have Caleb Downs. But then Ruben Bain Jr. is also here. You got top needs for the Commanders. You got a receiver, a safety, an edge up here, right? If Jeremiah Love does fall here somehow, obviously he goes to Washington, but I don't think he will. So you go receiver. There's Makai Lemon or something like that, but like I said, I don't think you need that. I think you're okay. With the 7th overall pick, I will still have Ruben Bain Jr. out of Miami. The edge rusher go to the Washington Commanders. I do think, even though Caleb Downs is the better player overall and better generational talent, I do think Ruben Bain Jr. is just more of a need for the Washington Commanders with the edge rusher. They don't have anybody. I actually don't know who their edge rushers are at the moment. They need somebody. I think you will get Ruben Bain Jr. I really do think you do that. So with that being said, you jump down to the Giants at pick 8. They traded down, and they get Caleb Downs. You're welcome, Giants fans. I still gave you one of the 2 players you wanted. I know Sonny Styles was the other one you wanted, but Caleb Downs I do think goes to Ohio State. And now Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles will be division rivals instead of being teammates on Ohio State. So Caleb Downs at pick 8 to the New York Giants. And now we're at pick number 9 for the Arizona Cardinals, who traded down from pick number 3 with the Kansas City Chiefs. And with that being said, I actually have the Arizona Cardinals selecting Francis Mauigoa from Miami. I don't know if I pronounced that name right or not. I have no idea. I'm not going to retry that again. But I think he's the best offensive tackle in the draft. I think you need to get help for whoever your quarterback's going to be in the future, which I already have a prediction who it's going to be later on. But I do think at pick 9, you take the best available. I actually think, like, in my honest opinion, it does not matter whether the Cardinals stay at 3 or 9. This will be the player they get. But I think they'll trade down from 9 because they'll get more draft capital from the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, like I said, he's going to fall to them anyways, so it doesn't really matter. With that being said, with pick number 10, the newly acquired pick from the New York Giants, from the Cincinnati Bengals, what do you do if you're the Giants? Well, isn't this kind of funny now, isn't it? Because my draft now goes off the rails here. I'll tell you why. In prior, I had the Cincinnati Bengals selecting Mansour Delane out of LSU. But now, the Bengals are no longer here. So what did the Giants do at pick number 10? They grab what they need, and they do it with pride. Makai Lemon out of USC goes at pick 10 to the New York Giants, and you get Malik Neighbors some help, and Jackson Dart another damn weapon. I mean, Giants are going to have a great draft. You get Makai Lemon, you get Caleb Downs at pick 8 and pick 10. You get more draft capital when you trade it down with the Saints. You're looking pretty good this year. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty damn good. I still think you need somebody on the interior now because you lost Dexter Lawrence, but I just think that this is a no-brainer for me. So Makai Lemon definitely goes at number 10 here. At pick number 11, the Miami Dolphins. They need a receiver. They need a corner. So it's tough, right? But if Mansour Delane falls to you at pick number 11, you take him. So Mansour Delane out of LSU, the cornerback, goes to Miami now. This is where the draft's going to get a little bit iffy because now the Giants have traded for this 10th overall pick is why my mock draft is not going to match up to what I had it on paper in prior drafts. And this is where it's all going to get a little bit wonky. Because now we go to Cleveland. Cleveland trading back from number 6 to pick number 12. Might have been a mistake now if you look at it, but at the same time, still not that big of a mistake. Now, they do need an offensive tackle. Spencer Fano is right here. But you can still get a good defensive tackle later on the draft. There's a team coming up that needs a receiver, and that is the New York Jets. And if you do not take a receiver here, you might be screwed. The Rams also might take a receiver. So now if you're looking at the Browns, I think they take, out of Arizona State, Jordan Tyson. You need a receiver to help Shedeur Sanders. You need one beside Jerry Jeudy. You get Jordan Tyson. He helps you out with it. He is the new receiver for the Cleveland Browns at pick number 12. With pick number 13 in the draft, I actually, in my mock draft, had the New York Jets jumping. Also, can we just talk about the Rams' new logo? What are we doing? What are we doing, man? I like the uniforms. The uniforms look pretty sick. I like how it says Rams on the helmet now. But the logo? That's what we're doing now? That's what we're doing? Anyways, pick number 13. I actually, in my previous mock drafts, I had the Jets trading up to 13 to get, to actually draft Jordan Tyson. But, yeah, and I had Mekhi Lemon going to the Browns, actually. So now this all kind of changes a little bit. With that being said, I don't think the Jets want anybody to trade for at this point. So I think they stay at 16. Rams stay at 13. They need a receiver, but there's not really a good receiver to go with anymore, as, you know, the top 3 kind of just went. So I think if you look for it, you need an offensive tackle. Yeah, you know what? Monroe Freeling, I think gets drafted by the LA Rams instead of Spencer Fano. I think he did test better. I think Fano is like just a little bit of a more developed offensive lineman than Freeling, but then you do take the college into account as well, Georgia or the university, and I just think it's a little bit, I see the Rams going Freeling instead of Fano actually, so I'm gonna stick with that. The Baltimore Ravens need a couple of things going on in this entire draft, but one thing I think they're going to definitely take is the inside linebacker out of Penn State. I'm going to try my best. Olavega Ione. I think I pronounced his first name better than I pronounced his last name. Anyways, I got the Ravens picking him out of Penn State. I think he is a better, best fit player available for the Ravens, especially if they needed an offensive lineman in the interior. So I do think they go with him out of Penn State. I picked number 15 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They need a lot of things. Linebacker is one of them. The tackle, corner, Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee, still right here. You look at the guy, he's a great damn player. He's only a 3-star out of high school, but not bad. If you look at the testing comps, tested really, really good on the athletic score. His height's good, weight, hand size kind of eh. However, they desperately need an edge rusher, and one edge rusher that's on the board is, well, Keldrick Falk out of Auburn. He's an unbelievable player. You see all the greens here. The arm length's good, the weight, the height. He's a 9.10 out of 10, or 9.10 out of 10. Yeah. Projections, you know, I mean, not bad. I just do think maybe, like, yeah, number 1 pick's going to Dallas. Number 2 is going to Tampa. I just do think Tampa does take him here if he's on the board. So Keldrick Falk out of Auburn, I think does go to Tampa Bay Buccaneers at pick number 15. New York Jets at pick 16. What do you do now if you're New York, right? You know, what do you do? Because I had you guys taking Jordan Tyson moving up, but there's not much. You go to the offensive side of things, you don't, I mean, Omar Cooper Jr. is right there. Does he go this high, though? Like, let's be honest. Where does he, like, does he go? Because not great measurements. Testing was okay. Like, I had him going to the Steelers. You don't need much out. I mean, you could go get Hakeem Mizdor or Mizdor. Again, pronunciation is not my strong suit here. You could go get him. So I'm going on an audible because I had him going. I had Omar Cooper Jr. going to 21 to Pittsburgh, but now I got Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana going to the New York Jets. I think the Jets take him here at pick number 16 because they need a receiver desperately to play beside Garrett Wilson, and give Geno Smith. Yeah, give Geno Smith another receiver to throw to, and I think that's probably the best option right there from Indiana. So I think Omar Cooper Jr. is a New York Jet. Pick number 17 going to Detroit Lions. This one won't really change a mindset on me. I mean, out of Alabama, Caden Proctor is probably the better pick. I'd actually probably go with him. I've been sitting here thinking about it for a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I like to sit back and take a little pause and just really think about it instead of just, keep recording and have to edit it later. So I thought about it for a while, and I was going to go Spencer Fano because he is more technically sound. And I think he was like mocked a couple times in Detroit. But Caden Proctor has been linked heavily to Detroit this entire draft process. The front office love him. And I just think at 17, the difference you're getting isn't that much. So I picked number 17 out of, and he's from Alabama. They produce really good offensive linemen. I'm gonna go Caden Proctor from Alabama, the Detroit Lions. I picked number 17. I think that's the best pick available for the Detroit Lions. You move down to the number 18th pick of Minnesota Vikings. This one I'm not gonna spend much time on. It's gonna be Dylan Feynman. They just lost Harrison Smith, one of their best safeties of all time, especially in franchise history, and just a great player. I think they need to really fill up that gap. Obviously, it's a top need for them there. Out of Oregon, he's after Caleb Downs, definitely the best safety. I think people could say Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is better, but I do think Dylan Theinman is a better safety than Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. So I'm gonna go Dylan Theinman to the Minnesota Vikings at pick number 18. I think it's just really easy pick right there. So here, and then with Carolina, I picked number 19. Now, this is a tough one. This is a toughie. Yeah, it's a toughie. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty big toughie because now you're here with Carolina. I picked 19, and basically in every mock draft I've had, I've said Kenyon Sadik to out of Oregon to Carolina. I think he's definitely the best tight end available. You need a tight end. You know what I mean? He's been mocked to Carolina the most. They say it's a low need, but I still think it's pretty good. But tight ends rarely go in the first round. You have your odd couple guys like Brock Bowers, Kyle Pitts. They go in the first, but it's a very rare thing. And there's still a lot of good players right here. Spencer Fano is right here. The draft's pretty crazy sometimes. The draft is pretty crazy. I just think maybe he does go to Carolina. Like, people haven't mocked him to Carolina at all. I like doing a little research, so I have a little research tool on my phone here to help me kind of figure out what's kind of going on with talks and trades. I really want to get this most accurate, most possible picks, most accurate, but I'm going to stick with my original pick. I got tight end Kenyon Sadik going to the Carolina Panthers at pick number 19. Sometimes you just don't change something. Sometimes you just go with it. You go with your gut and you stick with it. I got him going to number 19, tight end from Oregon. And it's a great pickup. I think it's going to help them a lot. I think you get another good weapon for Bryce Young. So I got him going there. Now with the 20th overall pick, if you do not remember, in the package deal with the Dallas Cowboys, the Cleveland Browns jumped from 24 to number 20 in the first round pick. So they get their need and they get their pick out of offensive tackles. Now, there we go. We think about offensive tackles all the time. Let's go to the offense side of things, because that's what I'm going to do. You got Blake Miller. I don't think they're taking him. Caleb Lumu, I think, or Lomau, I don't know how you pronounce my last name. Or they take his teammate out of Utah, Spencer Fano. I think you finally, if you're the Browns, you take Spencer Fano here out of Utah. I think he drops enough, and this is where he ends his droppage, and I think he goes to number 20, Cleveland Browns there out of Utah. Now, pick number 21, Pittsburgh Steelers. They need a few things. They need a quarterback. There's a certain quarterback coming up right here in Ty Simpson from Alabama. Could go here to Pittsburgh. Really could. Out of high school, 5-star rating. I think he is a great quarterback coming out of college. Did not measure well, obviously, in testing comps. Didn't go to I don't think he went to the combine. But people mostly got him going to Pittsburgh, or the Cardinals at 3, or the Giants here at number 2. These are the 3 teams that probably need the quarterback the most. I don't think the Jets are going to take him. Pittsburgh, I think this is Pittsburgh's only chance to take him, is right here. I think if they don't take him here at pick 21, they don't get Ty Simpson. Do you go with Ty Simpson if you're the Steelers? I did this last year. I did this last year. I said the Steelers were going to take Shedeur Sanders. I did this last year, and I was very wrong. He fell very far. But do you know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do? Like, Aaron Rodgers makes this very difficult. Like, if he stays, then you do not want to get a quarterback this early, because you want, my phone's on, because you want to, because you want to protect him. You want to give him more weapons. But if he's not going to come back, if he is going to retire for real and for good, you want to get Ty Simpson. Draft is weird. The draft is crazy. The draft is wild. So you know what? I'm going out of my mock draft. I'm taking a guy that I didn't even have going in the first round, let alone pick number 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to Emmanuel McNeil-Warren out of Toledo to safety. I'm giving him to Pittsburgh. I think it's too early to take a quarterback in Ty Simpson because you don't know what Aaron Rodgers is doing, and you have a decent quarterback coming off the bench to take over in... Oh, shit. Who's the backup? Oh, man. Oh man, I'm being a casual. I'm being a casual. Oh god, don't nobody look at me quickly. Look away. Mason Rudolph. Mason and Will Howard. Did Rogers already retire? Oh, Steelers believe he's gonna come back. Okay. Alright, Steelers think he's gonna come back, but at the moment you have Will Howard and you have Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph not great. Will Howard pretty developmental. You took him last year. Why not, right? You need a safety. You need somebody on defense. I think this is good. I think this is great. You could take a receiver, but right now, best player available, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety out of Toledo. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers take him at 21. I had him not even taken in the first round of my mock draft. But hey, draft's weird, draft's crazy. So we're doing it live. We're doing it live right here. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety out of Toledo, going there. All right, that took a while. So let's get into a pick that's not going to take that long. 22nd pick in the draft of LA Chargers up on the clock. Yeah, Akeem Misdor from Miami, the edge rusher. I think it's pretty obvious they need an edge rusher. You could also take an offensive lineman, I guess, but this is a really big need for them right now, especially with the departure of Joey Bosa and all that. You don't really have anybody there anymore, so Akeem Misdor from Miami, Florida, going to the Chargers, I think is pretty safe and pretty reasonable. At pick number 23, the Philadelphia Eagles are right there. Who do they take? Well, they need a bunch of things, but I think you need an offensive tackle the most. So, honestly, yeah, I can see this one. Caleb Lumu going. Is it Lumu or Lumau? I really have no idea what it is. I think it's Lumu maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but I am going to have him going to Philadelphia. I think if he does drop to Philly somehow, which honestly, Philly's got the best luck with that. They always get some sort of player that drops them. I think they take him. They would take Jamar McCoy, but they don't need him. They might just take him because we might take him. But I think here at pick number 23, the Eagles do take him here, and he goes to the Philadelphia Eagles from Utah. Now, at pick number 24, the Dallas Cowboys. If you don't remember earlier in my mock trade, I did do the double trade with the Cleveland Browns, so that means we drop back to number 24. We need a corner. I'll make this one very simple, very easy. Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. I mean, the man's pretty decent. The man's pretty good. I think mainly projections might have him going to us. Yeah. At pick 12, though, not at pick 24. I don't think he should fall this high, but he might. You could go Avion Terrell. This is another player that you could also get out of the draft. I mean, oh man, he did a bad flex score. I did not know that. I thought he had a better score than that, but he obviously did not. I think at pick number 24, if Jamon McCoy somehow does fall to us, I don't think he will out of Tennessee, but if he does, that'd be crazy. I'm going to pick 24, the Dallas Cowboys for sure, though. We do need a corner, so we'll take that. And if we somehow get McCoy and we get Sony Styles in this first round, I'm going to love life. I'm going to love life. I'll tell you guys how I do my picks if I get them right or wrong later. And we'll look at the gradings later, and I'll do all that later. But we'll go through this first. At pick number 25, the Chicago Bears up next. You need the tackle. I'm not even going to take much of a consensus on this one. You got Caden McDonald right here out of Ohio State. Crazy ass player. I love him so much. I think watching him on tape is so much fun. Go watch him if you haven't. He's mainly projected to the Chicago Bears. You could take Peter Woods. I think he's probably just as good as the boy over there, you know, but as McDonald. But I just don't see him going to Chicago. I really don't. Chicago's got pick number 25. They're going Caden McDonald out of Ohio State. I think it's simple as that. I don't think it's a tough pickup. Pick number 26. The Buffalo Bills are up on the clock. They need an edge rusher. They need a receiver. So what do? KC Concepcion right here. You help Josh Allen out, or you take a little stroll down and you take a guy like Zion Young. You take a guy like TJ Parker out of Clemson, which a lot of people actually have going. They have him going to Buffalo, right? High need right here. Now, Keon Coleman, still developmental. It's still being developed as a receiver, and possibly an adult. But I think he'll come to terms with playing and being a good receiver because he had some shining moments last year. Love Shakir for Josh Allen, favorite target. Dalton Kincaid, great player. Dawson Knox there too. And then you also just traded for DJ Moore. I think you traded for DJ Moore knowing that you're going to go defense here. But that being said, you go edge rusher. You got Cassius Howell too. I forgot about him. I did forget about him. He's not bad. I just don't see him going this early. He could actually fall out of the first round. So with that being said, I'm going to go TJ Parker out of Clemson going to the Buffalo Bills. I think you traded for DJ Moore thinking and knowing that you were going to go defense here. TJ Parker falls to number 26 to the Buffalo Bills in the first round. Niners, this is a tough one now because you can go receiver, you can go offensive tackle, you can go edge rusher. All three things are big needs for the Niners. Jennings is great. I think you got a good player in Ricky Pearsall. So in my opinion, I do think you go with a player that you really do need, and that is like a Blake Miller out of Clemson, offensive tackle. I think he's a decent player. You definitely need this. He scored very well in the athletic score. He's projected to go to teams like the Eagles or whatever. Niners, high need in that. I don't think you really need a receiver. I really don't. Maybe you do take him. Maybe you do take KC, but I just don't. I don't see him. I don't see the Niners really going offense here. I don't think you need another weapon for Brock Purdy. I think he's good. I think you need protection for Brock Purdy. So with that being said, I think with Blake, I think with Blake Miller being one of the last few good offensive tackles in the draft, I think you do take him from Clemson. So I'm gonna go Niners taking Blake Miller, offensive tackle, Clemson. Yeah, Peter Woods going to Houston. I'm not gonna waste much time here. They need interior linemen. They need somebody there, and I think Peter Woods is the best fit for them here. It's a D tackle, Peter Woods in Clemson, going to Houston. I think now you just really solidify your whole. You have Danielle Hunter. You just signed Will Anderson to a crazy deal. Good for him, man. He killed it with that deal. And Peter Woods on the interior. I think you just boosted the defense a little bit more. I think that's a good pickup. Pick number 29, with that trade with the Kansas City Chiefs, Arizona's got this pick, 29. Let's have fun. Let's have some fun. With the 29th pick in the first round, I got quarterback Ty Simpson out of Alabama going to the Arizona Cardinals. Let's have some fun with the draft. Why not? Do I think this is going to happen? Probably not. But I do think it's a good pick. Ty Simpson, Alabama, quarterback, boom, bang. There you go. Just like that. With the 30th overall pick of the draft, I finally have the boy going off. KC Concepcion out of Texas A&M. I think he does go to Miami finally. I think if he does reach the pick 30, Miami needs a receiver. They take him there at pick number 30. Pick number 31, you got the New England Patriots. They need a decent amount. They need a receiver. There he is. You need an edge rusher. I think you need more of an edge rusher than a receiver. You did just sign Romeo Doubs. I think they might trade for A.J. Brown in the draft. Could have probably done that here, but I don't know how they would have done it. So yeah, I think there's some things you could do there, but Zion Young out of Missouri to New England. That's my pick. That's what I'm going with. Let's go, doing that. Pick 32, the last pick of the first round. This is actually kind of crazy because in my previous mock drafts, I had Avion Terrell going to Dallas at pick 24, but in this draft he drops to 32. I think you take him. You lost Tyreek Woolen. I think he's the best player available. Avion Terrell going to the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, so we got grades. All right, let's get right into the grades that Pro Football gives me. All right, first up's the Baltimore Ravens, I believe. Yeah, let's go. All right, Ravens are first. They gave me a B+ for the Penn State offensive guard. Okay, I guess we'll go with Dallas. Dallas is my favorite team, so let's go with them. Dallas Cowboys, they gave me an A+, overall draft grade A+. For getting Sony Styles and Jermar McCoy, even with the trades, they add the trades of what you traded away. They added my tradeaways and the second round pick for next year. Still overall draft grade for Dallas A+. If this happens, man, I'll be so happy. Denver didn't have a first round pick. Detroit Lions overall, we get a B+. They gave me a B+ for Caden Proctor out of Alabama. Okay. Green Bay didn't have it. Houston, they gave me a B+ for Peter Woods out of Clemson. All right. KC, they gave me an A for the pick of David Bailey, but because we traded away 2 first-round picks, it goes down to an A grade only. Raiders, Fernando Mendoza, A+. Chargers, we got an A- for Akeem Misdor. I'm actually not mad about that at all. It's pretty good. Anything in the A's, I'm pretty happy with. B+ are kind of like, eh. B+, Monroe Freeling out of Georgia. Okay, Miami gives it an A for taking Mansour Delane and Casey Concepcion out of Texas A&M. So overall grade an A. Minnesota, we get an A- for Dylan Thyman. New England, we get a B+ for Zion Young. The Saints, we get a B for Carnell Tate, but that's only because we traded away the pick 8 and pick 73 picks. So this would have probably been an A+. Because we traded away these 2 picks to get that, it goes all the way down to B. So that's so far, I think, our lowest grade yet. Not entirely sure, but I think it is. So not great. The Giants are next. They gave us a B+ overall. A- for Caleb Downs. A- for Mekhi Lemon. But we traded away our 4th round pick, so we did lose a little bit of draft volume there, which dropped us down to B+. I actually don't agree with this at all. I really don't. If the Giants do this, as a Cowboy fan, I'll be pissed. So I think this is good for the Giants, especially because you get way more draft capital than... But hey, listen, you know what? Whatever, I'm not the expert. This machine is, apparently. The Jets, A- overall. It was a B for Omar Cooper Jr. That is a reach, but it was an A+ for Arvell Reese, so not bad. Philadelphia, B+ for Caleb Lumu. I think it's Lumu or Lomu or something. I don't know, man. I'm so sorry butchering these guys' names. I'm not good with names, especially reading them. I'm not. You know how long it took me to learn Tua Tagovailoa's name? I had to like slow down the announcer saying his name so I can actually know how to say it. B- for Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I wasn't expecting much out of this one, I'm not going to lie. This one was kind of more of a just a F it type of call, so it is what it is. Niners, we get a B+ for Blake Miller. Seattle, an A for Avion Terrell. That'd be a great pickup. If he somehow falls to you guys, that's 32. That's great. I think I messed that up. Bucks, a B+ for Keldrick Falk. And what else we got? We have Tennessee down here. Tennessee, we get an A- for Jeremiah Love. And Washington, we get a B- for Ruben Bain Jr. Really? I would like to see the other picks. I mean, thank you for Cleveland. Okay, we'll go over Cleveland. Jordan Tyson, a B. Spencer Fano, an A+. Okay, all right. But trading away the 2 picks, overall A-. I think Jordan Tyson's a great pickup for the Cleveland Browns if they get him. But you know what? Whatever. And they get our pick for next year too, so that was also what kind of gave it an A-. So there's that. I'm happy we got an A+ on this grade. I really am. This is great. This is great. We get this. Man, I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy. This is no shot in hell this is happening. I get our picks wrong every year, but at least I could dream with a mock draft. Why can't I go look at Arizona? Why can't I go look at other teams? Excuse me. But just for Arizona fans and some other fans, I know you guys want to know the draft grades, so we are giving you guys the draft grades. I'm doing this shit right here, right now. I will let you guys know all the draft grades right now. Arizona got a B+ overall, with an A for the offensive tackle, a B for Ty Simpson, and trading away pick number 3, a B+ overall. Buffalo, B- for TJ Parker. What other teams did we not get to go through here? We didn't go through shit. We didn't go through a lot of teams. Oh my god, it's messed up everybody. Carolina got a B+ for Kenyon Siddick, and Chicago got an A- for Caden McDonald. Cleveland no longer has a pick. We went through Cleveland, or Bengals no longer have a pick. Sorry, we went through Cleveland, Dallas, and the rest is history. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That is it. We started with Baltimore. Yeah. So Arizona, we announced that. Yep. Okay, there we go. There you guys go. That's all the draft grades for the teams that we went for. Obviously, my Dallas Cowboys. I'm hoping that this actually does happen. If this happens, I will be the greatest GM prediction person of all time. But okay, I'm done. I'm done rambling. I'm done being a casual NFL man. I'm done doing my mock draft. So there you guys go. If you did like it, please leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the second channel, my main. A lot more shit happens over there. A lot more stuff is going to be happening over there. Trust me about that. We got a whole Let's Play series. If you have not watched it, Resident Evil Requiem. That whole playlist, everything's up. Everything's done. Go watch it. It's a bunch of hours of fun of me shitting my pants and everything else. So go watch it. Go show it some love, because we got some more Let's Plays coming up, because there's some games I want to play in the next few months. We got more stuff coming up like that. We got more Madden content over there. I'm switching it back to the main channel, because that's where the love is. That's where everything goes. So main channel is gonna get some more Madden content. I might bring back something pretty cool. Because I love opening up real life packs. And I like playing some Madden. So just put 1 and 2 things together. But just go over there, show the channel some love, support. Everything else in the description down below. My TikTok, all my clips go there basically. Twitch, I have done some streams. I'm gonna get back into streaming whenever I can. Right now it's a little bit difficult with my schedule, but I am doing what I can. With that being said, the mock draft is done for 2026. Well, my mock draft anyways is done for 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe. Let me know in the comments who you want your team to pick, or what you want them to do with your picks. If you don't have a first round pick, tell me who's gonna maybe you pick in the second round. I had a lot of guys fall into the second round, so some guys I might be taking in the first. The draft's always fun, the draft's always crazy, and I love watching it each and every time it comes on, especially that first round of the draft. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you when I see you. I'm out, and peace. And everything's gonna be wrong somehow. Jeremiah Love's gonna go to the Raiders. I don't know, that's gonna work, but that's probably what's gonna happen.